Hello, everyone, and good evening to you all. My name is Felton Parker. Today is Friday, March 14th, 2025. As always, each day is a wonderful day to be blessed by our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And I sincerely hope you folks had a truly blessed and wonderful Friday. What I have for you guys in tonight's video is the list of all the National Day holidays from my National Day calendar segment. That includes my featured National Day holiday. Also tonight, right after my National Day calendar segment, I'll have my famous birthday segment for you all, where it features all our famous people who were born on this day. And also tonight, in my weather segment, I will let you all know exactly what we're expecting for the entire weekend. That includes both tomorrow, which is Saturday, and Sunday, plus through all of next week. So without further ado, let's get things started here on this Friday night as we conclude yet another day and perhaps another week. And of course, my main featured National Day holiday is that today was National Pie Day, most widely known for this day. Today, of course, was National Pie Day. And I'm not just necessarily referring to the dessert that we all eat. I'm actually referring to the mathematical sign, the letters Pi. On this day, National Pi Day recognizes the mathematical constant pi, also known as pi, lowercase pi. The first three most recognized digits are 3.14. The day is celebrated by pi enthusiasts and pi lovers alike. Pi is the ratio between the circumference of a circle and its diameter. While the idea of pi has been known for nearly 4,000 years, accurately calculating has been something of slightly more recent mathematical development. By 2000 BC, the Egyptians and Babylonians accurately used the constant to build. Mathematicians such as Archimedes, Fibonacci, Francois Viette, Adrian Van Roman, and Gottfried Wilhelm Leibniz all calculated pi by various methods. However, in 1706, Welsh mathematician William Jones introduced the Greek letter pi to represent the ratio of a circle's circumference, pi. Here's how to observe. Celebrate the day with a slice of pie cut using the mathematical constant of pi, of course the letters pi. Host a pie eating contest. Discuss the significance of the number pi. Watch the life of pi. Look for 3.14 in unexpected places. For example, prices, street numbers, or license plates. Finding 3.14 deals in as many versions of pi as possible. For example, think pizza pie as much as dessert kind of deals on this day. Get punny geeky Greek pie inspired t-shirts deals. Visit the National Day calendar classroom for a National Pie Day lesson. Use hashtag National Pie Day to post on social media. Here's the history behind National Pie Day. In 1988, Larry Shaw organized the earliest known official or large-scale celebration of Pie Day at the San Francisco Exploratorium. The Exploratorium continues to hold Pie Day celebrations. On March 12, 2009, the U.S. House of Representatives passed a non-binding resolution recognizing March 14, 2009 as National Pie Day. And here's some facts about pie. In 2015, Rajveer Meena memorized 700,000 decimal places of pi as certified by Guinness World Records. Am I right? 700,000? But I see 6 zeros. Yeah, I should be, I guess. People eat pie on Pie Day because the two words are homophones, and hearing that it's Pie Day makes people think of pie. Also, since pies are usually round, they're an ideal way to celebrate Pie Day. So that's how much we know so far about Pie Day on this day. And here's a little more info about Pie Day as it's celebrated each year on this day. Excuse me. Pi Day is so not to be confused with the actual dessert, because I'm not necessarily referring to a particular dessert, but the letter of pi. But Pi Day is an annual celebration. Pi Day is an annual celebration in the United States of the mathematical constant of pi, or the letters pi. Pi Day is observed on this day each year on March 14th, the third month, since 3, 1, and 4 are the first 3 significant figures of pi, like the mathematical symbol, and it was first celebrated in the United States. It was founded in 1988 by Larry Shaw, an employee of a science museum in San Francisco, the Exploratorium. Celebrations often include eating pie or holding pie recitation competitions. In 2009, the United States in March of 2009, the United States House of Representatives supported the designation of Pi Day. UNESCO's 40th General Conference designated Pi Day as the International Day of Mathematics in November of 2019. Other dates when people celebrate Pi include Pi Approximation Day on July 22nd, and the 27th day in the month format of approximation of pi in June 28th. 6.28 in approximation of 2 pi or tau. So here's a little history behind pi. Of course, each year around this day, I read this sort of info to you all. In 1988, the earliest known official or large-scale celebration of Pi Day was organized by Larry Shaw at the San Francisco Exploratorium, where Shaw worked as a physicist. With staff and public marching around one of its circular spaces, then consuming fruit pies. The Exploratorium continues to have Pi Day celebrations. On March 12, 2009, the United States House of Representatives passed a non-binding resolution recognizing Saturday, March 14, 2009, of course that would be 16 years ago to this day, as National Pi Day. For Pi Day in 2010, Google presented a Google Doodle celebrating the holiday with the word Google laid over images of circles and pi symbols. And for the 30th anniversary in 2018, it was a Dominic Ansel pie with the circumference divided by its diameter. Some observed the entire month of March 2014 as Pi Month. The following year, 2015, March 14th was celebrated as Super Pi Day. It had a special significance as the date written as 3/14/15 in month, day, year format. At 9/26/53, the date and time together represented the first 10 digits of pi, and later that second, the pi instant represented all of its digits. Pi Day has been observed in many ways, including eating pie, throwing pies, and discussing the significance of the number pi. The first two are due to a pun based on the words pi and pi being homophones in English, and the coincidental circular shape of many pies. Many pizza and pie restaurants offer discounts, deals, and free products on Pi Day. Also, some schools hold competitions as to which student can recall pi to the highest number of decimal places. The Massachusetts Institute of Technology has often mailed its application decision letters to prospective students for delivery on Pi Day. Starting in 2012, MIT has announced it will post these decisions privately online on Pi Day at exactly 6:28 p.m., which they had called tall time, to honor the rival numbers of pi and tau equally. In 2015, the regular decisions were put online at 9:26 a.m. following that year's pi number. And in 2020, regular decisions were released at 1:59 p.m., making the first 6 digits of pi. Princeton, New Jersey hosts numerous events in a combined celebration of Pi Day and Albert Einstein's birthday, which is also March 14th. Einstein lived in Princeton for more than 20 years while working at the Institute for Advanced Study. In addition to pie eating and recitation contests, there's an annual Einstein lookalike contest. In 2024, the recreational mathematician Matt Parker and a team of hundreds of volunteers at the City of London School spent 6 days calculating 139 correct digits of pi by hand, in what Parker claimed was the biggest hand calculation in a century. On August 15, 2024, the main-belt asteroid 314159, Matt Parker, was named in his honor. The citation highlights Parker's biennial Pi Day challenges, stating that they have helped to popularize mathematics. So that's my information to you all about Pi Day. Of course, I didn't have any pie to eat today on Pi Day, of course. I'm sure you all have seen my Facebook post early this morning in reference to it. In reference to Pi Day, something that I tend to do each year on this day. Here are your other National Day holidays from earlier today. Today also was National Write Down Your Story Day, National Children's Craft Day, National Learn About Butterflies Day, and also today was National Potato Chip Day. And of course, here's my famous birthday segment for all who were born on this day, here on this Friday night. Excuse me. So here's my famous birthday segment for you guys. Here are all our famous people who were born on this day. Today, basketball NBA player Steph Curry turns 37. Gymnast Simone Biles turns 28. Rapper Cash Doll turns 36. TV actor Daniel Gillies turns 49. Movie actor Ansel Elgort turns 31. Comedian Brian Quinn turns 49. Pop singer Ian Lucas turns 26. Movie actor Amir Khan turns 60. Movie actress Sasha Grey turns 37. Movie actor Billy Crystal turns 77. TV actress Abby Ryder Fortson turns 17. Good evening to you, Jessica. How are you doing on this Friday night, and how was your day today? Movie actor Michael Caine turns 92. Pop singer Olivia Dean turns 26. And of course, Albert Einstein, also physicist Albert Einstein, of course, had a birthday on this day. And of course, you all remember music producer Quincy Jones would have celebrated his 92nd birthday on this day. Sadly, he passed away back in... So, music producer Quincy Jones today would have turned 92 years old earlier today. Sadly, Quincy Jones would have turned music producer Quincy Jones would have turned 92 on this day. Sadly, he passed away back in November of 2024 at the age of 91. So that's my famous birthday segment here on this Friday night. And of course, we have some parts of the area could be dealing with a very major, serious, severe weather threat. And of course, you all have heard in the news about the very massive wildfires and the severely devastating wind gusts affecting portions of Texas, experiencing its all-time drought with the ongoing wildfires. So, y'all, and of course, our weather here locally, we've had another very warm day, but not quite as warm as yesterday. And of course, some parts of it, of course, we could be dealing with, some of us could be dealing with some very serious, severe weather. I'll let you guys know exactly how much rain could we be expecting. And of course, some of us, and of course, some portion of the area could be seriously under the gun of some strong to severe storms impacting the area, especially the further east you go. So, portions of the region are under a threat of severe weather. Excuse me. So, this is affecting portions of the 4-state region. That puts the entire Shreveport-Bossier City area under a marginal risk. So do not let your guards down yet. So for those of you in places like Ruston, Natchitoches, El Dorado, you guys are under a slight risk. Charge your devices, charge your laptop PCs, your smartphones, and your tablets. And those of you in Monroe, in the Monroe area, are under an enhanced risk. And for those like in portions of eastern Louisiana heading towards the state of Mississippi, are under a moderate risk. How rare it is to see. So there's now an enhanced risk for severe thunderstorms through this evening across portions of northeastern Louisiana, with somewhat lesser risk extending west into the heart of the four-state region. All severe thunderstorm hazards are possible in outlooked areas, although tornadoes are more likely in an enhanced risk area where a strong tornado cannot be ruled out. This is most likely going to infect parts of the region late afternoon and, of course, continue through this evening and perhaps overnight tonight. The highest chances of this severe weather will occur. The highest chances for South Central Arkansas, and Central and North Central Louisiana. And of course, some of this could be shifted back further west. So you want to be prepared for that just in case. Here are the potential hazards. Tornado EF2 or greater cannot be ruled out in an enhanced risk area, especially for those of you in Monroe and points eastward. And also in a more devastating risk, that would be that moderate risk heading towards the Mississippi state line. Damaging wind gusts of at least 60 miles per hour or greater, and a large hail of quarter size or larger. So, folks, please, for those of you in the eastern portions of our four-state region, please get yourselves prepared, because it's some of you could be for some of you could be dealing with a prolonged period of power outages. So we have the potential threat of severe weather. And of course, once again, all of this is being focused well to the east of the Shreveport-Bossier area. Although that puts us in the marginal risk. So, just because we're on the western fringes of the greater severe weather risk, does not mean we are out of the woods. Because we could see some of these storms, and of course, the chances we have this developing could be the overnight hours into the early morning hours for your Saturday. There will be a heightened risk for severe thunderstorms on Saturday. Of course, that's tomorrow, across portions of deep East Texas, but especially across portions of north central and northeast Louisiana, as well as south central Arkansas. Tornadoes, large hail, and damaging thunderstorm wind gusts will be possible. The greatest spread area through Saturday night should be just east of the four-state region. So you folks really need to prepare yourselves. So again, this is will I like to occur. This will be a moderate risk. This will be a level 4 out of 5. So, of course, the highest risk for severe thunderstorms, South Central Arkansas. So the highest risk for severe storms will be occurring in South Central Arkansas, northern northeast Louisiana, and deep East Texas. So the further south and east you go, the more devastating these storms could be. So please make sure you're preparing yourselves. And also here are the potential hazards with this severe weather outbreak that's headed during the day tomorrow. EF2 tornadoes, which of course cannot be ruled out across northeast Louisiana, especially portions of northeast Louisiana, damaging wind gusts up at 60 miles per hour or greater, and large hail of quarter size or larger. So this could be one devastating storm. So please make sure you folks are charging your devices, your smartphones, laptop PCs, and your tablets. And also remember to check up on your relatives, please also remember to check up on your neighbors, your relatives, and any of you that have friends that live in further out east. Please check up on your friends and relatives, especially for those of you impacting portions of the southern U.S. in portions of south and eastern Louisiana, heading into the across Mississippi. This could be one very serious severe weather threat that you folks could be dealing with. And here are your averages and records for this day. Normal high is 7. Our normal high temperature is now 70 degrees. So of course we would not get below. We would not get below this number again until sometime in November. Normal high is 70 and normal low is 47. Record high is 89. Set back in 2024. That was actually just a year ago today. 22 is a record low set on this date back in 1993. And of course, now, the Shreveport-Bossier City area, we are not under a watch or warning as of right now, but a tornado watch is being issued in portions of South Central and Eastern Arkansas and also portions of north central and northeast Louisiana. That's where you have the tornado watch. A red flag warning is in effect for portions of east of our counties in eastern Oklahoma and some of our southwestern Arkansas counties. And also, a tornado warning is in effect in some isolated southern, south central, southwest, south central Arkansas counties. So just because we're not including any of these does not mean we're out of the woods. So we just have to be prepared, and of course, do not be surprised. Do not act surprised if you happen to hear a loud rumble of thunder in the midst of this potential severe weather outbreak that much of the southern U.S. could be dealing with late tonight, especially during the day tomorrow. Of course, here's what's happening here on this. Here's what's happening here on this Friday night. Although we are basically quiet here locally in the Shreveport-Bossier City area, we're seeing the larger cluster of the thunderstorms affecting portions of southwestern, southern, and south central Arkansas. That's where the heaviest of the rain is now affecting us. So, and of course, we're seeing a small wave of shower just due east, a small wave of shower, very brief, affecting just east of the Shreveport-Bossier metro area, and also portions of just south of Alexandria. That's what you folks are dealing with here on this Friday night. And also, just as I was showing you, like we have the line of severe storms of now. Of course, we're seeing just a small brief shower. Of course, not basically looking at much of anything. Just a brief cluster of a shower or two. Not counting on much of anything from along the Oklahoma, Texas, border on the Red River, and also portions of north central Texas, especially the Dallas-Fort Worth area, the eastern portions of the Dallas-Fort Worth metro area, and also northeastward into northeast Texas. And also this big cluster of rain, the heaviest of the rain is now affecting portions of southwest and south central and central Arkansas, extending northeastward into northeast Arkansas and portions of southeastern Missouri, extending into portions of south central and south and central Illinois, and also portions of western Kentucky down south into northwestern Tennessee. And also, you see another wave of rain affecting portions of central and north central and north central Mississippi here on this Friday night. So some portions of the area could be dealing with quite a bit of active weather here on this Friday night. That's what you're seeing. That's what you're seeing with the low pressure system situated along the Rio Grande River in portions of southwestern Texas, and another low pressure system affecting portions of Colorado, Nebraska, and Kansas, and also a high pressure ridge is centering across portions of southern Virginia and north central North Carolina. And of course, so we're watching these lines coming through. That's when it's going to give us a brief periods of wet weather. But I'm not counting on anything much, but at the same time, just don't act surprised. Now, what you're seeing here, now some of these models can change. Now some of these models, what you're seeing with the severe weather outbreaks, it can change. Now, excuse me, it can change. So now it can change, and of course, if I have to make some adjustments, then I will, especially for tomorrow. I'll tell you now. Of course, I'll explain more about the streak of dry weather that we could be expecting in the coming days. I'll explain more on that in just a few seconds. But once again, we've dealt with basically. Now, of course, you'll notice the hazy conditions we've experienced early this morning was due to the wildfires affecting portions of Texas, along with due to wildfires. So of course, portions of this includes our East Texas counties across the 4-state region. Also, most portions of Texas were either under red flag warnings or elevated to critical fire weather warnings, as I mentioned to you guys in last night's video. Excuse me. So we've been mainly dealing with breezy conditions throughout the day. We also turned out to be rather windy, breezy, windy day with gusts peaking up almost around 40 miles per hour. So we've seen. So we've seen. So basically, much of this entire day have seen rather strong winds. It's also turned out to be a rather windy and warm day, but not quite as warm as yesterday. Remember, here in Shreveport, We officially topped out at 90 degrees yesterday for high temperature. That was set the record. The old record was 88. So we didn't quite make it up to 90 today, but we mostly stayed in the mid 80s for a high temperature earlier today. And that's what you're now. Here's how things are looking here on this Friday night. Temperature outside here on this Friday night is 73 degrees with partly cloudy skies. Now, of course, it shouldn't even be this warm this time of year, especially in the middle of March. It shouldn't even be this warm. This is 3 degrees above our normal high temperature during this time of year. Temperature outside is 73 degrees with partly cloudy skies. Humidity is 78%, dew point is 66 degrees. We have a south wind at 15 miles per hour with gusts up to 23 miles per hour. We have reduced visibility at 8 miles per hour, you know, with the hazy conditions and dust, and the blowing dust and hazy conditions that's coming from the wildfires across portions of Texas, and barometric pressures at 29.53 inches of mercury. Severe weather and tornado outbreak through Saturday. Excessive rainfall and flooding in the Tennessee and Ohio valleys. A severe weather outbreak, including the potential for strong long-track tornadoes, is expected through Saturday. Severe thunderstorms will impact the Midwest into the Mississippi Valley tonight, then shift into the central Gulf Coast states and deep south Saturday. Heavy to excessive rainfall may lead to flash and river flooding in the Tennessee and Ohio valleys during the day Saturday. So a good portion of the southern U.S. could be dealing with some very serious weather, especially during the day tomorrow. So once that passes, we like have a streak of mainly dry weather, and also weather nice temperatures we have on the way. So I think you guys are gonna like the forecast what I have set up for next week. I think you guys are gonna like the forecast. Of course, all this week we've mainly it's mainly been a dry week for us, along with very warm temperatures. In fact, yesterday turned out to be, by us having a high temperature of 90 degrees during the day yesterday, that also turned out to be our warmest day of 2025 so far. It also turned out to be our warmest day of 2025 so far. Excuse me. So tonight, expect breezy conditions. So expect breezy conditions with a couple strong thunderstorms in spots with a couple strong thunderstorms here or there. And otherwise, of course, storms can bring destructive winds and large hail and tornadoes. So that's why just be prepared, folks. That means be prepared because we are in a marginal risk of severe weather. So just because we have the lower risk, we're in that lower risk level, does not mean that we're out of the woods. So yeah, it can get updated. It can change. The severe weather modes can. The severe weather levels can push back further west, and that may include us in a slight risk or worst case scenario, or worst case scenario in an enhanced risk. So I need you folks to please be prepared for what could possibly be on the way, especially during overnight hours into the early part of your Saturday. So, of course, just hopefully praying that your weekend plans on dampen with the weather. Of course, I was hoping. So hopefully that whatever plans you have set up for the week, I hope your weekend plans. So some of your weekends, especially the further east you go, if your folks are planning on traveling south or east of Shreveport Bossier, then I would advise you guys to please beware. Just travel safely. Otherwise, wait until we start to see improving weather conditions. So this is why it is always important, especially for those of you where you're traveling for early spring vacation like spring break or business travel or weekend or if you're traveling for whether it's for business travel or traveling for early spring vacation or spring break or just a getaway for the weekend, especially if you folks are heading towards south and east of the Shreveport Bossier area, you're wanting to pay attention. It is always important to check the weather before you leave and see what the weather's going to be like. Will you be impacted by severe weather? So you want to check the weather and to make sure make sure you're staying weather aware, and you're keeping yourselves alert as well as your friends, especially for those of you that that travel on a regular basis, whether it's for business or whether it's for the getaway for the weekend or spring vacation or whatever the occasion. Just know that it's always important to check the weather before you hit the road, because especially for those of you that's going towards portions of southeast and east Louisiana, heading across the state lines going into Mississippi. So you'll definitely want to consider yourselves staying alert and staying up to date with all the latest that's going on. So this could be a very serious weather situation that especially with the high risk of severe weather. But some portions of, I want to say, like central eastern Mississippi into Alabama could have this severe weather risk at a high risk. That would be a level 5 out of 5, something we haven't seen here in Shreveport in like 5 years. That would be like a level. So we've seen, so with the severe weather outbreaks we've had during the past couple of years, the highest risk would be not necessarily enhanced. Not only enhanced, we've even had a few moderate risk severe weather events within the past few years, but with the level of the risk of severe weather. So for our end, Shreveport Bossier, we're under a marginal risk, but it points to the east, like Ruston and Natchitoches, you folks are under a slight risk, and portions of Monroe are under an enhanced risk. So, of course, so that's why I say during overnight tonight, if you haven't already, please charge your devices, your smartphones, laptop, PCs, and your tablets in case your home or business loses power during these storms. So again, tonight it will expect breezy conditions with a few strong thunderstorms. Couple strong thunderstorms, especially late this evening to overnight hours. Otherwise, of course, this can bring destructive winds and large hail and tornadoes. So charge your devices if you have already. Otherwise, we expect mostly cloudy skies, low temperature of 62 degrees, with the south-southwest wind at 12 miles per hour. We could see gusts up to 25 miles per hour. So, of course, the winds do not expect the winds to die down anytime soon. So tomorrow, going into your Saturday. So once we get rid of the storms, expect partly cloudy skies and weather so as of right now, this is what I have tomorrow for your Saturday. So in my forecast, it has that the start to your weekend is looking rather dry. Expect partly cloudy skies and rather comfortable. Still on the warm side, but not quite as warm compared to what we've had today. Expect breezy conditions in the afternoon with a high temperature of 80 degrees, with the west-southwest wind at 12 miles per hour. We could see gusts up to 30 miles per hour. And we're not expecting any rain tomorrow as we get into the start of your weekend. And also do not forget, tomorrow at Festival Plaza downtown Shreveport is padding on the plaza. So it looks like, as of right now, the weather should be totally cooperative for that. So we know that St. Patrick's Day is fast approaching. Of course, it looks like the weather is going to be absolutely outstanding with no weather concerns or issues. Here's how we're planning things. We expect a line of showers and thunderstorms to come through. So if we do see any storms, we shouldn't deal with too much. Otherwise, we'll have partly mostly cloudy skies from overnight hours with temperatures on the warm side. So we're not expecting to see temperatures getting real low overnight tonight. Most of us should be in the 60s overnight hours tonight. We'll start out tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. with cloudy skies. We should be at 63 degrees. 9 a.m. tomorrow with mostly cloudy skies. We should be at 63 degrees. Noon tomorrow with mostly sunny skies. We should be up to 70 degrees. 3 p.m. tomorrow afternoon with sunshine, we should be up to 78 degrees. Looking nice for any outdoor activities, especially for padding on the plaza at Festival Plaza for the St. Patrick's Day weekend. 6 p.m. tomorrow evening with mostly sunny skies, we should be at 76 degrees. And 9 p.m. tomorrow night with clear skies, we should be at down to 65 degrees. So expect another day of above normal temperatures tomorrow going to your Saturday, but not quite as warm as today. So now, of course, with the severe weather, all this is associated with the cold front. So even though we're not expecting to see extremely low temperatures. Even though this is officially the final weekend of of astronomical winter. So this is officially the last weekend of the winter solstice, because the first day of spring arrives later on towards the latter portion of next week. The official start to spring is early next Thursday morning, March 20th. Now here's what the next 7 to 10 days have in store. So now here's what the next 7 to 10 days have in store for us. After low temperature night, 62 degrees, of course, that is above normal for and a low temperature for this time of year. Expect a mild expect mild condition after a mild breeze and mild evening with the couple storms possible. Of course, I'll put your rain chance at least at 40%. After tonight's low temperature, 62 degrees, have a breezy and mild evening with storms possible. Now tomorrow, going to your Saturday, excuse me, expect any storms that tend to develop during overnight hours should depart the region sometime early during the day tomorrow. So I'll be left with partly cloudy skies and rather comfortable. Partly cloudy, expect breezy conditions in the afternoon with the high of 80, low of 50. Winds will be from the west-southwest at 12 miles per hour, because it gusts up to 30 miles per hour. And of course, no rain is expected. However, I may have to introduce at least a very small, tiny rain chance. So 10% may be the best rain chance that I have for your Saturday, because you still may deal with some clouds. Those clouds will give way to sunshine later in the day. So, of course, Sunday, of course, looks to be a rather nice and rather we should see temperatures finally getting back. So finally getting back closer to normal, where they should be this time of year. So we'll close the weekend out a rather seasonal day. Expect breezy conditions in the morning. Otherwise, we'll have plenty of sunshine. It should be a nice and beautiful and nice ending to the weekend. With the high of 71, low of 44, winds will be from the northwest at 13 miles per hour. We could see gusts up to 27 miles per hour, and no rain is expected. And of course, don't forget Monday. Do not forget Monday, of course, is St. Patrick's Day. And just remember to wear your green for your Monday. We should start next week with it would be a nice start to next week with plenty of nice and warm start to next week with plenty of sunshine. High of 79, low of 52. Winds will be from the south at 8 miles per hour, and no rain is expected. Tuesday, expect partly cloudy skies. Otherwise, it will be breezy and very warm for your Tuesday. With the high of 82, low of 61. Winds will be from the south at 14 miles per hour. We could see gusts up to 31 miles per hour. Chance rain 10%. Maybe just a stray shower or two. I'm not expecting anything major to occur during the day on Tuesday. And of course, Wednesday, expect another warm day for us. Another day with above normal temperatures toward the middle of next week as we go into your Wednesday. It will be breezy and pleasant with mostly sunny skies. High of 77, low of 47. Winds will be from the southwest at 15 miles per hour, plus the gusts up to 41 miles per hour. And no rain is expected. And then Thursday, we have another cold front come through that will, of course, will be slightly below normal. So Thursday next week will be somewhat cooler temperatures, but not significantly, but not just a bit cooler for Thursday, but not significantly cold, not significantly cool for your Thursday. Expect plenty of sunshine. High of 68, low of 41. Winds will be from the northwest at 9 miles per hour. No rain is expected. Even towards the end of next week, it's looking rather nice with plenty of sunshine for your Friday, for the Friday of next week, which is the 21st. Expect plenty of sunshine. High of 75, low of 53. Winds will high of 75, low of 53. Winds will be from the south-southeast at 7 miles per hour. No rain is expected. And also, forgot to mention that again, the first day of spring is next Thursday, March 20th. Should be looking nice. Kind of be on the cool side towards the latter portion of next week, but still rather seasonal. I mean, temperatures can go either way, even though it's March. So for next Saturday, which is the 22nd, we'll start to see the return of rain chances by the time we get into the start of next weekend. For next Saturday, which is the 22nd, expect partly cloudy skies, the few showers with showers and thunderstorms likely. Highs will be in the low 70s, chance of rain 60%. And of course, next Sunday, which is the 23rd, expect cloudy skies with showers and thunderstorms likely. The highs in the upper 70s, chance of rain 60%. That's for next Sunday, which is the 23rd. And Monday we get into the following week, which is the 24th. We have most sunny skies. Highs will be in the mid-70s and no rains expected. So portions of, so again, well, portions of east of Port, all areas east and south and east of Shreveport, Bossier, or could be under the threat of some very serious severe weather. So we just need to take time and pray for our loved ones, especially our neighbors and our friends, our families, friends, and neighbors. If you have relatives, remind them to keep them in your prayers as they tend to navigate the devastating storm that could be affecting portions of the south and south central U.S. Could be a very devastating severe weather outbreak. Could be extending to portions of Alabama and even into Georgia, and also portions of the Florida Panhandle within the next few days. So please, if you know anyone, please pray for any for those of you that have relatives or friends that live along the south central U.S. could be dealing with the high risk of severe weather. So you know how devastating tornadoes can be, especially during this time of the year as we're about to enter our primary main spring severe weather seasons getting underway. You know, with the springtime pattern, with the storm, something we cannot do with the damaging winds, tornadoes. Just get yourselves prepared. All of us should get prepared for severe weather outbreaks. So again, now of course, now tomorrow we should have a high temperature. So tomorrow most of us should, temperatures for the next several days should not be much too far from March standards. So we'll have a high temperature close to 80 by tomorrow, which is about 10 degrees above normal for this time of year. High temperature tomorrow close to 80, and of course we have a cold front that will lower our daytime high temperatures close to normal, with highs in low 70s by Sunday. And of course we'll start off this upcoming next week with highs reaching the upper 70s by Monday. We're back in the low 80s by Tuesday, and we'll take a slight decline in our temperatures toward the middle of next week for next Wednesday, which is the 9th, with the middle of next week with highs in the mid to upper 70s. And don't forget, first day of spring is next Thursday. And of course, it will be a seasonally cool day for us with highs reaching the upper 60s, and then we're back into the mid 70s by Friday. So looks like we could have some very nice, delightful days. And other than tonight's small minimal rain chance, the next several days are looking rather dry, with not much of anything happening. Besides a 40% rain chance overnight tonight, I have at least a 10% chance for tomorrow, or could be less. So we may not see much of anything happening during the day tomorrow. Of course, basically the entire weekend should be dry. Mainly no rain expected for Saturday or Sunday or Monday. So basically, each day next week is looking rather dry, save for that 10% rain chance I have in the forecast for Tuesday. So at least we'll be dealing with breezy conditions, beginning especially for tonight, tomorrow, again on Sunday, and of course winds will be should be a bit calmer for your Monday, which is St. Patrick's Day, and also we could be expecting breezy conditions return to the area again by Tuesday and again on Wednesday, ahead and behind the cold front. So the next several days is not going to bring us in the way of much rain. Now, of course, we could be dealing with very strong winds again toward the middle of next week. I want to say by Wednesday. And of course, so rain chances looks like we could be seeing at least in the trace amount. So rainfall should be at least a trace amount or less. So we're looking at basically a dry week ahead. So much that we can say for tonight, Storm says anything that tends to develop overnight that could be your final rain chance. And of course, basically all of next week was looking dry. But next time basically all of next week is looking rather dry. And of course, our next chances of rain we may not be expecting until we get towards the start of next weekend. So for those of you that do not get any rain from the storms of the severe weather events to the east of us, probably have to wait at least towards the end of next week before we start to see any rain. Well, that will be all that I have for you guys here on this Friday night. Once again, my name is Felton Parker. I sincerely hope you folks had a truly blessed and wonderful day. Wonderful weekend. I hope your weekend goes the same. I'm officially signing off here. You guys have a good night. Sleep peacefully. Take care of yourselves and each other. Have a great weekend. Most of all, remain blessed and stay safe. Thank you.